couple episodes ago, you were talking something about Jalen Hurts and all this, whatever. We said something that made me go, huh.
Yeah, I saw a comparison between Al Freaky and
Ah,
Jalen Hussey.
right, you're right. And before that, or not before, but around that time, I was like, okay, where does Jalen Hurts rank? Because we had these conversations
Hey,
a lot where we really had more conversations about Jalen Hurts of under or overrated.
yeah,
But I don't know if we necessarily rank Jalen Hurts, in the NFL amongst quarterbacks because if you look at all right, like in my head, it's definitely top 10.
yes,
There's no question. If you're arguing that, you're just a crazy Eagles just hater.
you're a
Like,
shitty bum.
um, now Mahomes, Lamar, Josh, Burrow.
Joey
Like what?
B.
What's your thought? What's your fifth? What's after that?
Um,
It's not Jared Goff.
it's
It's not.
not.
It's not. It's not Aaron Rodgers in 2025.
It's not A Rod.
Is it Justin Herbert? No.
I put Goff over Herbs,
We're
and
talking about
probably Hurts.
no, no. You could put whoever over whoever. We're talking about who takes the fifth slot after the four people I named.
I would say Goff,
So golf is better than Herbert, A Rod,
and I
etc.
would say that if Jaden does something similar next year, I think he jumps a lot of people.
So CJ, JD, Baker, Jordan Love, everybody. Jared Goff, who's on the team with the best roster.
That's fair.
So Jared Goff's
Well, I mean,
top
let's not
five.
act like Jalen Hurts has shitty bums out there.
No, we can 100% never act like Jalen Hurts has shitty bums out there, but we can also
Well, I
acknowledge
mean,
that.
I think it's just that I don't know how clear it is after or 5 and on.
Okay, but
Like, I mean, if we look at our because we ranked quarterbacks before the year,
yeah.
we had A Rod way up there, we had CJ way up there, we
Mhm.
had Hurts probably top 10, Dak probably top 10 or 11 or whatever. We had a lot Trev, Herbert, and then all that gets jumbled up this year, and next year is going to be different. Um, I mean, we know I think top 4 for sure, but we don't know how good Jaden's going to continue to be if Hurts gets worse.
But that's what I'm saying right now. As of right now, this day, this
Honestly, I
date,
don't know.
2025, are you really going to put Jared Goff top 5?
I don't know.
Considering
I'm
just
not putting
considering
CJ there. I'm not putting Aaron there. I'm not putting Jalen Hurts there.
why not?
Why would I?
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Well, because this isn't. I'm pretty sure statistically this is not one of his better years.
Oh,
Again,
well, no, statistically, I
if we're gonna knock down Jared Goff for having great receivers, I'm gonna knock down Jalen Hurts for having better receivers.
mm, mm,
Better receivers.
mm,
A big ass AJ Brown who's a dog.
mm,
A Heisman winning Devontae Smith. They didn't use Jahan Dotson. Shout
mm,
out.
mm,
You got Saquon on your team. I mean, there's
mm,
factors. One of the best O lines in football for
mm,
the past 15 years.
mm.
I'm not knocking him in
So,
terms of being a quarterback, but
so
I wouldn't put him in a top 5 conversation
what
based off
when
of his own merit.
so when do we pick and choose when to play this game of making it the quarterback's fault, what team they're on?
No, I'm not making it his fault.
So like, okay, I look at
But
how
no, you just said that Jared Goff has the
great
best team
that
with the
had a
best
great
receivers.
team. Yeah, 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 and still didn't get the
Jared,
job done.
all
What?
right, all right. So
That's my point. That's my point.
no, but I'm all right.
You're not going, look at
What
everybody
makes him
Jared Goff
top
has.
5?
Look at
All right,
everybody
then
Jared
take
Goff
Burrow
has.
out of the top 5.
Do you want to?
No,
I think Burrow had a horrible team. I think he has a great receiver. I mean, what is it?
agreed.
Hold on, whoa. We're not going to the point where it's okay, you have one really good receiver, so you can't be top 5. No, you can absolutely be top 5
No,
because when Tyreek Hill was
if
on
you're
the
gonna
Chiefs,
knock Goff,
Mahomes was still top 5.
I'm saying if you're knocking Goff for not getting it done,
I'm knocking Golf for throwing 5 picks and still being able to win a fucking game.
it's fair.
Did Jalen Hurts do that?
Jalen Hurts didn't have to throw the ball that much.
Did okay? And Jared Goff didn't have to throw the ball that damn much.
In amongst the MVP votes, who's higher?
We're not talking. What, on us? I don't
Yeah,
fucking know. I erased it. We're gonna have to go back and
I
watch the
don't think
clip.
Hurts was anywhere near.
But it does. Okay, if I'm saying right now, if we're looking at all these quarterbacks, and we just named 4, and now we're getting to a point where we're arguing. All right, Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff or Justin Herbert.
No, I'm saying it's a big jumble.
If we're okay, and out of all that jumble, they've all had weapons. They've all had good teams. One had a way better fucking roster and had the best team in football and were Super Bowl favorites. One, in their first 5 fucking years, has already made 2 Super Bowls, has went 37-10 his last 3 years, or his last 3 years, made 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years, went 37-10 his last 3 years, has gotten the job done. What? Oh, okay, so he doesn't throw 5,000 yards, but he also doesn't throw fucking Josh Allen level, or doesn't commit Josh Allen level turnovers. So
Sure.
he can't run like Lamar, but he also can escape better than fucking Baker Mayfield. So it's like, when are we going to accept that maybe not having the biggest arm and not being the most athletic and just being able to get the job done can put you in that conversation in top 5 category?
Yeah, but I mean, when he lost to Baker in the playoffs last year, were we having this conversation?
I don't know.
Probably not. We're probably talking about how good Baker was.
And then we're looking at the bounce back of Jalen Hurts, and now he's back in the 2nd Super Bowl in his 5th year.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, there's so many factors, especially in this NFL, that puts you in a Super Bowl. I mean, when we look at the AFC, we have 4 of the best quarterbacks, and one of them has made a Super Bowl. And Burrow's made a Super Bowl, so 2 of them. But you have the 2 best quarterbacks in the league who have never made a Super Bowl, and it's cool to bring up people for making Super Bowls, but it's like, I don't know. It's hard to gauge how much of an impact Hurts has on a Super Bowl team. If you take Jalen Hurts and you put him on the Ravens, he's not performing better than Lamar bringing this team to a Super Bowl.
I can't say that, bro, because the same person that there's people out here going, oh, Jalen Hurts has Saquon. And you know what? Lamar had Derrick Henry. And we should be in the fucking Super Bowl. And we should have beaten these teams. And we should have gotten the job done. And Lamar's gonna win MVP. And we got all these greats and all these these amazing players. And we couldn't get the fucking job done.
Agreed.
And that doesn't mean I'm gonna put Lamar out of the top 5 because we know what he did. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna discredit Jalen Hurts because he had the same guideline. Because if anything, I'm praying the Baltimore Ravens go into this offseason parodying, mocking the Eagles. I need them to absolutely mock the Eagles going into, because we're gonna have a conversation next episode about how the Ravens could mock the Eagles and maybe possibly parody them going into next season. But either way,
but another thing is, I think if we're gonna mock Josh Allen for his goal line touchdowns, I think we can mock Jalen Hurts as well, and I think people do. No, I mean,
okay, but here's the difference though. People use Josh Allen's little bullshit 4-yard or runs to at the goal line or QB sneaks and use those rushing touchdowns as an example of how he's such a great dual threat.
People and how he should be an MVP. Yeah.
If you call Jalen Hurts a dual threat, they'll say no, he just does a Philly tush push. He just all he does is a tush push. It's like no,
he can move.
Like he can move. He can move.
But they have the tush push in the bag, which works.
And you know what? And here's the thing. The same way I'm like, you can't blame these fucking quarterbacks for having these players. You can't blame these other teams for being dumb enough to not decide to do it too.
And I thought after last year, I was like, or after the past few years, it's like, why not put this in practices? Put it in the bag.
Yes, absolutely.
It works 98% of the time.
It's like, look, and that's my thing. It's like, I'm not sitting here saying it's hands down he's top 5, but I just feel like we live in this world where there was a point where Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, no matter what, they were never getting a job done, but they had this big arm and they were these great athletes and there was no question where they ranked.
Of course.
But Jalen Hurts is getting shit on every single week.
And
he's getting absolutely no credit for Saquon because it's a Saquon Barkley show. I mean,
but I'm gonna be honest. I think that in this season, I think they are different from the Eagles. The Ravens are different from the Eagles. I think that
Right, because we had more Pro Bowlers. We had a
no,
better
no,
quarterback statistically. We had a better defense statistically. I mean, we had bro. There's no excuse for the Ravens
but
not
no,
making it and the Eagles making it.
I'm saying that I don't think that Derrick Henry, just the way that the teams are set up, I don't think that Derrick Henry brought as much to the Baltimore Ravens than Saquon did this year. I think Saquon's impact was bigger than Derrick Henry's by a good bit.
Jalen Hurts.
And that's just because of the way that the Ravens have played over the past 5, 6, 7 years with Lamar.
What team was in the Super Bowl 2 years prior?
Agreed. The
What
Eagles were there.
quarterback was in the Super Bowl and had the game won, bro?
Sure.
Like, bro, look, Lamar Jackson is better than Jalen Hurts. Lamar Jackson is not in the fourth quarter. What was it? 28-28, driving down and pulling off that clutch ass drive that Jalen Hurts pulled off in that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because obviously after that, Chiefs got their holding call and got their touchdown and whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Jalen Hurts, he doesn't have to throw as much. He doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do as much, but he gets the job done.
All right, but can we not look at him like a Russell Wilson?
No.
Why not?
You can if I'd say Russell's label is more from hindsight. Like in 2015, we weren't sitting here going like, "Oh, he's a system QB." It's like it took a while. It for me, like it took Geno being able to get the job done for me to go, "Holy shit." Maybe Russ ain't like that. Like maybe Russ, and then.
But I mean, shit. Even then, it was like Russ is getting MVP talks at least halfway through the year. That was kind of the big thing. But I mean, yeah, he made 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, but there's a clear difference between what Jalen Hurts has been able to do for the Eagles and get them to the Super Bowl, and Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
Brock Purdy had a couple weapons in shambles this year, injury wise, and looked like what we thought Brock Purdy was actually going to look like.
Of course, yeah.
Jalen Hurts, he had to deal with a bitching AJ Brown and an injured Devontae. He had to deal with some shit. It's not like everything was all a cakewalk besides handing it off to Saquon. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, Lamar had a safety blanket and Derrick fucking Henry. There's absolutely no excuse. And when I go back to this list, it's like, okay, Jared Goff, before last year, not touching top 20. And then now he's on the best roster in the NFL. And did not get the job done. And honestly, his window is probably closed. Detroit's not making.
I don't think Detroit's window is closed.
Okay. No, you're right. They're getting brand new coordinators on both sides of the ball next year and are running it back with the same exact group.
Yeah, they have the same running backs. They have the same receivers.
No,
getting Aiden back.
No, but they're not keeping everybody. People are going to walk, and it's going to change things. They're not going to have the same exact team. It's going to be different.
No, of course, but I mean, I don't think they're going to be.
Everybody's going to be
much worse.
Everybody's going to be a year older, and everybody's going to be a little more. I'm just saying, bro. This was the year.
Sure.
This was the year.
Of course.
For Detroit.
I
mean, y'all were Super Bowl favorites.
But no, I don't think that. For however bad this sounds, I don't think Hurts making this Super Bowl is like, yo, you're top 5 now. It's like, no, I think that from 5 to 10, we can throw a lot of names in there, and from 10 to 15, we can throw a lot of names in there. So,
yeah, but that's the thing, though.
In different orders.
That's the thing, though. I'm not trying to throw around names. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, like that's like what we're doing in this segment on the podcast.
No. I agree, but I don't
you're saying you don't. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were like saying like
I was questioning what we were doing.
No. I thought you were like, no, we're not doing that. I don't want to do that. And you're saying no, he's not 5.
I don't think
He's
he's
not.
5.
Okay. I'm just
And
saying.
and even if he is 5, I think if he's 5, then from 4 to 5, there's about a 3-spot gap.
Then what would it take? Because here's the thing. We sit here and talk about all the bullshit with the Chiefs. We know what they get away with. We know how favored they are. So why don't we credit Jalen Hurts for that fourth quarter drive in the Super Bowl? Why don't we still talk about that? Because it was.
Because they lost.
But why?
We don't talk about Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl.
We absolutely. Yeah, it's because he lost to the Rams, not the Chiefs. When you lose to the Chiefs, when teams lose to the Chiefs.
The only person to beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl was Tom.
Devin,
It'll probably be the last person to beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
Every single team that loses to the Chiefs, whether it's playoffs or regular season, it's a Rolodex of Chiefs bias and favoritism. And we all know about the phantom holding call at the end of that game.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is Jalen Hurts does not get the credit for that type of clutch drive because they lost. Do you know how stupid that sounds? Like, did he go out and play defense? And was he the safety? Like, did he go out and was he the ref that threw the flag? It's like, no. He got the job done on his side.
Agreed.
And in the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs under the most amount of pressure you could possibly be under and didn't have Saquon Barkley at the time. Had fucking Miles Sanders or whoever the fuck. But it what?
I mean,
see, that's the thing. It's like, so you make the Super Bowl with Miles Sanders.
I think it's a testament to how good their O-line is. Miles Sanders got traded and was expected to be a top 5 running back the next year. Same thing with DeAndre Swift this year. I think it's a testament to how good that line is. I think it's a very important part of that team.
But Daniel Jones was getting sacked and Saquon was still running the fucking lights out of the stadium. Like,
I think Saquon. They brought Saquon and he only got better. You can take his shit running back and make him good in Philly, but you could also take the best running back and make him even better. He had one of the best running back seasons of all time. But no, I think that, yeah, of course, Jalen's done great to get his team into these positions and almost win a Super Bowl and this and that. But
there's still nothing. Like, you still
have to I think there's still a big gap between him and the top 4. Sure, even if it is the 5 spot, there's still a big gap.
Between him and Burrow?
In terms of performance?
Okay.
But I mean,
but why are we going to just accept it?
Even if you take out Burrow, there's a big jump from 1, 2, and 3.
Absolutely, I can solely agree on that.
So it's like I don't know.
But when we get to but here's the thing: when we get to 5,
something could happen next year, and Baker could be 5, or Jordan Love could be 5, or Herbert could be 5.
No. We're talking about what Jalen Hurts has done in the first 5 years of his career. And we're talking about where he ranks right now. And we bring up a name like Jared Goff. We bring up a name like Trevor Lawrence. We bring up a name like Justin
Jared Goff lost the Super Bowl. We don't talk about him.
We bring up...
He had the Pats by the balls. They could have won that game.
And then what was he after that?
Dog shit.
He was here. Okay, we want Matt, so get the fuck out. That's what it was. He was absolutely nothing, and then was all of a sudden Jared Goff on the best roster in the NFL and still couldn't get the job done and lost to Washington Commanders at home. Dog shit, beat out of them. Baker, Jordan Love, Kyler Murray. Like, what are we talking about? Like, who are we? None of these names. I'm sorry. If we're talking about the gap between 1, 2, 3 to 4 to 5, there's a gap between 5 and 6. Might not be as big as that first gap, but there's a gap between 5 and 6. Right now, if Jared Goff got the job done and was prepping to get into a Super Bowl, maybe. But still, it's like it's this 1 year it's this one sample size of Jalen Hurts or of Jared Goff. It's like this is I don't know.
Well, they were there last year.
I don't know.
They lost last year. They lost in the NFC Championship last year.
Yeah, they lost, and they keep losing, and it's.
Yeah, but it's like, how are we gonna sit around and knock Lamar and knock Josh Allen all day long
for never getting the job done? Do people not? Do we not?
No, but I'm saying it's not.
But how many times has Lamar Jackson has deserved a lot of criticism for his playoff performance or for his performance.
His past 2
playoffs.
His past two, he shouldn't.
The past two. Now, here's the thing: we can go revisit that Chiefs game because I don't think it was all fucking. There was definitely more to that game than just Zay Flowers fumbling the football. But if we just want to talk about, I mean, just the history of Lamar Jackson in situations, I mean,
But no, I mean, if we're talking about successful quarterbacks, yeah, Hurts
here. Okay, but here's my
top five.
problem. Here's my problem. If the Ravens were in the Super Bowl, we would be giving majority of the credit to Lamar. If the Eagles
The
lose,
Eagles are there, and
if the
a lot of this
Eagles,
credit's going to Saquon.
so the Eagles lose the Super Bowl, and a lot of the blame goes to Jalen Hurts. The same way, it's like, this is a quarterback driven league. So we either need to stop giving all the praise or all the criticism to the quarterback just for a Super Bowl game, because it's obviously all in. All players on that roster are going to have to do their job.
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying, like, I'm bringing out examples of him getting the job done in the biggest moment of anybody's career in the NFL. And we're going, oh well, it's a team, so they made Miles Sanders look good, Jalen Hurts. But we're not like, but then we're talking about some fucking Super Bowl Jared Goff made a couple years ago, fucking 5 years ago, and it's like, oh.
No, I'm saying with that logic, it's hard to differentiate quarterback from team.
I guess rosters
at the
change
same
a
time,
lot.
it's like we've talked a lot more about the Chiefs team over the past 2 to 3 years than we have Patrick Mahomes.
What do you mean?
I'm saying that Patrick Mahomes has not had, at least the past 2 years, insane years statistically, crazy playoff performances. It has been a team thing.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying, though. It's like Patrick Mahomes didn't have the greatest season of his career and still is getting the job done. Why aren't we bashing him? Why aren't we giving credit? Why aren't we giving credit
Well,
to?
I think we should be bashing him.
No. See, you're on this weird trip where you got to get 5K and 50 to be like considered good.
No, I'm saying that the way that the Chiefs won games this year is not indicative of a good team or good quarterback play.
Okay.
None of it showed that he was a top 5 quarterback this year. Now, of course, in the league, we can call him whatever, and he's shown signs of greatness his whole career and whatever. But this year, in terms of play,
are you talking about Mahomes?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's a whole other segment.
Of course, but I don't know. We have to differentiate. We have to separate.
But that's the thing, though. Mahomes has already done things that got him in this conversation. He don't have to do a lot more to stay in the conversation. If he's just cruising on to the Super Bowl, why are we discrediting that?
Because he's cruising along to a Super Bowl.
And guess what? There's great coach. They're great. They're coached great. They're favorited by the refs. They get the job done.
They're favorited by the NFL.
I don't know what else to say about that. Jalen Hurts right now, it's top 5. It's not Jared Goff. I give you better argument for fucking Jaden Daniels than Jared Goff.
I think there's an argument for Jaden, but
put Jaden Daniels on that. To put Jaden Daniels on that Lions team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but if we're talking about single person performances this year, I think Jaden's 5 or top 5.
Okay.
So you add in team success plus personal success.
Okay, that's a different conversation, made for a different day.
Plus players on a team. Obviously, you have Terry, but
okay. But see, now I could easily just say to you,
but this is this very similar team to what we had last year when we won 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
And you throw in a rookie quarterback and an old running back and an old linebacker and a younger linebacker and a few other guys, and you got Jaden. And I'm not saying this to dick suck him, but it's like, no, he was given the keys of this team, and I'm not saying that Jalen relied on Saquon. I think Jalen can turn it on and pass the ball, and he just didn't have to. Which takes me out of Jalen proving he's top 5 this year. I
Okay.
think he can deserve to be there, but this year I don't think really showed that he is the reason that this team is good.
Okay. So Mike Evans is really good. So Baker is not a good quarterback. He's just got a good receiver. He just got a legendary
No,
receiver.
no, but I mean I think that Baker didn't get it done.
Okay. He didn't.
It's like no, it's
Okay,
I
wait,
think
you're
having
and
Mike Evans helps the team.
you're fending for a quarterback that didn't get it done against the same team Baker didn't get it done against, and played
Agreed.
way worse against that team.
Agreed.
So, hey, I'm just saying, who looked better against the Commanders, Jared Goff or Baker Mayfield?
Agreed.
Baker Mayfield.
Agreed.
I mean, come on now,
I don't
what
know,
are we
but
talking about?
I think it's
Baker
just the
Mayfield is better than Jared Goff. I'm sorry, like Baker Mayfield's better than Jared Goff. I don't give a fuck. Had you put him on that Lions team, that's a Dan Campbell guy. Baker Mayfield,
Baker. Oh, Baker and Dan would be
that's a
great.
Dan Campbell guy. If
Damn.
Baker needs to go anywhere else in his career, bro, go to Detroit. Go to Detroit and ball out with them, bro.
Nah, send Dan to Tampa, bro.
Oh, okay, we good. Get some sun.
After the Detroit shit runs out, but
Get some sun on, bro. But all right, yeah, no, you don't. Okay, you don't. You think the top 5 spots weak? I think it's a little stronger than some may think. Let's talk
I
about
don't know. It's
something
weird.
else.